Yeah, whenever you want to
take it. Got anymore. No one said that this would get easy. No one said this wouldn't get hard. Brush it off and roll up your sleeves now. It's a shot in the dark till you get what you want.
Boom, welcome on back to Spiked College Football Show, week 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever the fuck it is. Let's fucking roll. That's right, Met stuff is off because guess what? It's hockey season. Major League Baseball is not even a real sport anymore. We don't care. It's hockey season. It's October. It's November. It's college football season. Fuck baseball. Baseball's for losers. We don't even like baseball here on the show. We talk college football and New York Rangers. That's what we want. We're not really going to talk New York Rangers. But what's going on, guys? Week 8, week 9, is week 0. Who gives a fuck? What's going on, boys? Lots happened last week. We know one thing for sure in college football, that there is not a number one team. It is 2007 all over again. And somehow service academies might make the playoffs. What's going on?
I mean, God bless America when the service academies, 2 of them can have a shot at the playoffs. I feel like just on merit alone, they should put Army and Navy in. If they end the season undefeated / have one loss because they played each other,
That means they both would have beaten Notre Dame, which means that's a quality win.
Yep, 11 and 12. Put them right in.
Tyler, what's going on? But how did Nebraska do last week?
Wow. Someone chose violence. Holy shit. Oh.
All right, well, we'll talk about that later. Rob, how did Miami do last week?
Well, I had a very lovely conversation with someone who will be going to Miami next year, where he asked it how I was doing. I said, well, other than the fact that Miami gives me a heart attack every week, I'm doing great. And then I said, if only they had someone who could tackle on defense, we'd be good to go.
Tell me the kid plays defense, Rob.
He is going to be our next middle linebacker.
Everybody, boys and girls, welcome to if you're new on the TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, we are Spike College Football. Rob is actually a teacher at IMG, which is the biggest high school football for recruiting.
Well, we're number 1 in Florida right now, so that's good. But still doesn't mean anything to playing Bishop Gorman and all them out west because they won't play us, so we never know actually how good we are. But that's okay.
That's still pretty badass. All right, Tyler, I was just fucking with Nebraska. I'm sorry. But last week, guys, we learned a lot. We learned a lot about college football. We learned that we know nothing, no one knows anything, and there's not a good team.
I think there's a lot of good teams. There's not a whole lot of. There's like no great teams as far as I can tell.
That's fantastic, though. I think this is great for college football. The parity. I mean,
yep,
everyone thought Texas
absolutely.
was going to dominate Georgia. No, didn't happen. Everybody is just like you said. The top 25 is a cool thing, but 1 to 50 is closer. It's closer 1 to 50 than usually it's like 1 to 5. Runs away. But it's 1 to 50 can beat any team. Can beat any team 1 to 50. I think.
Yeah,
and it shouldn't be considered an upset.
Well, let's be very clear though. Georgia did a great job handling Texas, but it had like nothing to do with Carson Beck. It was running the ball. Etienne, right? You said, who they got? Well, they don't have anybody unless they block, but they started blocking, and Etienne turned it up. And he had a very
with that, I mean, Beck didn't have a great game either, which is what you're saying. Like,
I'm saying Beck had at one point, didn't he have 100 yards and 2 interceptions, and that's it?
Yeah.
That was his stat line. That's insane. But that defense stepped up big, huge, and Etienne controlled the game for them. I wasn't just him, obviously, but he had the nicest stat line of anybody on offense for both teams.
So usually at this point, we usually talk about the upsets of last week. And looking it over, guys, there really wasn't an upset. I guess Tennessee over Alabama was a slight upset. But there really wasn't an upset that stands out or sticks out. Everybody pretty much won that was supposed to win. Texas losing to Georgia, still not really an upset. So it was kind of really chalky last week. And we do have. So let's talk about teams that are they real or not. Sorry to do this, Tyler, but is Indiana real?
Yes,
Indiana might be real.
Indiana is real.
They got game day this week.
It's they execute because full stop. I didn't watch any of the game. I was at work, right? So all I had was the radio call. I didn't watch it until Tuesday night. Man, they can execute. Their penalties were small niche things, and once they get rolling, they roll and they don't stop. Like the backups still too come because what's his name clipped his hand on a defensive arm and had to have surgery for it. The backups still is just as good as him. It's
So
nuts.
can I ask you this? When we say are they for real, we're not saying that they're a great team, right? We're not saying we're saying that
they could possibly make the playoff and they are possibly in Big Ten contention for the championship.
I'm telling you, they can execute and go 12-0.
My only problem with them is that they are with their backup quarterback the next 2 weeks. But the good thing is they're not really playing. I think they're playing Michigan State the 1 week, and then they're playing.
And then they play Ohio State the next.
No, but I think they're this week. They're playing. Who are they playing this week? They're not playing anybody this week. They're playing a scrub this week. I don't even think I have them on the board. They're playing Washington this week at home,
Right.
which they can win that
game.
They can win that game. It's at home, and then they have Michigan State, and then they have Ohio State. I think they could, even without Rourke being in the lineup. I think they could pull it off.
Yeah, and it's gonna be with relative ease. I'm telling you. It's that like what I've studied how Coach Signetti and the recruits he brought together at James Madison and essentially brought over to Indiana with him. They're all Sun Belt AAC award-winning people. Like they're solid 3 stars in the overall scheme of things, but they're award-winning 3-star, recruits.
Battle tested.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing that I'm trying to wonder is, so if we think they're for real because they're legitimate contenders, even if they lose to Ohio State, they should still squeak into the playoff, right? If they go undefeated.
Yeah. No, I think they go undefeated here. Like
you think they can knock off Ohio State?
They can execute a cleaner ball game than Ohio State can right now.
So I guess the other part of it is we're still saying that any top 50 team can knock off any other top 50 team, Indiana included, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm just making sure that caveat's still out there.
They're not infallible by any means, but when they go as an offensive juggernaut, they don't let up.
Got it.
There's we ain't milking time here to run out the game. They full throttle all 4 quarters. Like I know I'm speaking of niches here, but that's exactly what it looked like on film.
So let's move on. Let's talk about the did you guys watch that Tennessee Alabama game? It was not like the best game to watch. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I watched some of it.
Exciting. It wasn't. It was 2 teams that had struggles and are good, but they're not great. That's kind of what
Alabama has been playing some really undisciplined football.
100%. That is 100% their problem. And right now, anyway, DeBoer is not cracking down on them. And that's, whatever. Hey, he's the cool dad. Saban's gone, so they can get away with shit. But you got to win, right? And they're not. I will say the one play I tuned into live, and then turned it off within 5 minutes. It was right at the end of the game, and it was like third down because there was an incomplete pass, and it was going to be like third and I don't know 10 or something like that, right? Maybe 4th and 10, something like that.
Right.
And there was a minute left, and the receiver for Alabama got jawed out by the Tennessee guy. The guy from Tennessee then chest bumped him, and he turned around and pushed him in the face. And the Tennessee guy then jabbed him in the face mask right afterwards. And the referee watched all of it happen and called unnecessary roughness or whatever only on Alabama.
Which was stupid.
It was straight up just they were trying to entrap that young man all day, and he was like, and of course the coach is like, "You're a fucking idiot," and he's like, "What am I supposed to do?" And it's like, know where you are. Do you see Do you see a bunch of crimson out there? No, then don't fucking do that.
You know what? Nico also didn't make that big mistake to blow the game, and he had that beautiful throw down the sideline.
He kept it in hindsight, basically.
He game managed with a little bit of playmaking at the end. I think Tennessee's
not a playoff team. Let's be real.
They're going to make the playoffs.
No, they're not a playoff team.
I don't disagree with you, TA, but how are they not making the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they're a tough team. If they make the playoff, they're going to be a tough team if they get a home game.
With 3 losses compared to a BYU or an Iowa State, who are probably going to go undefeated here.
So who's Tennessee losing to?
They have one loss to Arkansas.
Yes.
Who else are they going to lose to, TA?
Are they going to lose in the SEC championship and not make the playoff? Aren't they coming out of the? Well, actually, I don't even know.
They got Kentucky next week because I think they're off this week. Then they have Mississippi State, Georgia, Utah.
Oh, you faded out there after Georgia.
Yeah. UTEP and Vandy.
They probably lose one of the two to Vandy or UTEP. Though not UTEP, fucking Georgia. Are they playing in Georgia? Are they playing in Vandy? Are they playing at home for both of those?
The two, Kentucky, Mississippi State, UTEP, are all at home. Georgia, Vandy are both on the road.
Vandy's away. Yep.
Yeah.
I think they split those. So if they split those, there's only 2 losses. They're in the playoff.
Now, we haven't actually talked about this yet. Maybe not. Today's maybe not the day to do that because we're starting way late and everything else. But how is each conference doing a champion, like a conference champion? They're doing an actual championship game, like normal, right?
Top 2 teams.
But is SEC doing top 2, or are they splitting into East-West still?
There's no more conferences.
Okay, they got rid of it too. That was the part I wasn't sure for the SEC. Okay.
The only difference with the SEC is they only play 8 versus everyone else that plays 9. That's like the only stark difference.
So that's why they can play UTEP super late in the season. All right.
Yeah. And they worry about tradition, yet they play a Gomer team, the 10, 11th, 12th week of the, season. But
okay.
I'm worried about tradition.
Any other games you guys want to go over from last week? Miami can't play defense, but they can outscore everybody.
Well, so the thing with the Miami game is that we did get bailed out with another call, but also
every single call that they've had, the 3 calls now, they're calling it the 3 calls. They were all the right call. Like they're just on the
I
right
agree. I don't disagree. I'm just saying, as a Miami fan, respectfully, we get fucked by the refs every single time. And to have 3 in a row going our way.
Championship years, you need good luck.
I'm just saying 3 in a row is like, I'm just sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop at the ACC conference championship game. We just get annihilated by the refs.
I think Miami, the Miami Clemson game in the ACC championship might be the game of the year. Low key might be a game of the year. Because Clemson is just, it's like Jaws right now. It's in the weeds.
Dude, it's going to be so sad, dude. when SMU just goes undefeated and doesn't make the championship game. It's gonna be sad
But they already
undefeated in conference play.
They already have a loss.
in conference play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Clemson's loss is a lot better than SMU's. That's and Pittsburgh still undefeated.
Yeah,
Now, is Pitt playing either Clemson or Miami? I don't think so. We're playing like Syracuse. We're not playing Pitt this year. But I don't know if Pitt's got to play anybody else.
I'm looking it up.
Or like SMU. Like,
Are there any other games while I look this up that you want to go over? They're playing SMU. They're playing Virginia, Louisville. They're playing Clemson on November 16th.
so Miami, as usual.
That could be the game that decides, because Clemson's not playing Miami. That could be the game that decides who plays Miami.
No, that's what I'm
Right.
saying, is that Miami just has to keep their fucking nose clean, and that's so hard for us to do. But if we do, we have a much easier cakewalk to be like, all right, who, after you all beat the fuck out of each other, who is actually making the conference championship? And I would love to see the Rhett Lashley Bowl.
Well, Rob,
Dear
you're
God,
scheduled.
but I love to see
Make sure
SMU.
if you're watching us on TikTok, Spike College Football on TikTok, Spike College Football on YouTube, Spike_college_football on Instagram, Spike College Football on Twitch, Spike CFB88 on Twitter. Rob, you have Florida State home, Duke at home, Wake Forest at home, Syracuse and Georgia Tech on the road. I don't see a loss there.
I definitely see opportunities for us to fuck it up.
There's one.
I don't
There's
see.
one. Can you guess which one? Can you guess which one I feel a little bit? Do you know which one? I'm talking about?
Probably Georgia Tech, but
Georgia
no,
Tech is
probably
the game. Georgia Tech is the only game I think that they could lose.
yeah. Knowing you, it's probably Georgia Tech. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I don't think there's a team there that can straight up beat us on our schedule, but we are really good at almost beating ourselves week in and week out. Like, we're really, really proficient at edging everybody and then fucking pulling the rug out from under them, leaving with blue balls. Like, it's so obnoxious. I will say, though, our defense scored a fumble recovery in the end zone, right? Like, they gave us points and we ended up winning by that fumble recovery in the end zone. But our defense is not meant to do bend, don't break. They're not meant to do literally anything. Go to sleep. Like, our defense is so terribly bad for the type of offense that we run. And they never look at this, and I fucking hate how coaches don't coordinate how their defense and their offense are supposed to have some sort of synergy. If you have an offense that can score, you don't really want a defense that will just fucking give up giant chunk plays every goddamn time, right? Like, not really.
Because then it just keeps putting more pressure on your offense to score, and then it keeps putting more pressure on your defense, because then your defense has to go back. It's just
right. Just make them beat you. You know, it's like, if you play perfect, our offense can still probably beat you, Louisville, right? But if you don't play perfect, we don't have to pounce on it and be fucking ball hawks. Like, just, we can actually do a bend, don't break philosophy, and it'll suck for me liking smash mouth defenses, but they'll make mistakes, you know? Like, fuck.
real quick. I want to go over some games, guys, from last week. These are all the games that all three of us picked, and we were all right. Listen to this. The Duke-Florida State game, we got Duke. Oregon winning, BYU, Wisconsin, Clemson, Washington State. The Illinois game, which we all picked. Colorado, Michigan State, which we all picked that upset too, and UNLV. But these are the games that we all lost together. Texas, West Virginia, USC, Cal, Arizona State, and Rutgers. So we were a little bit above 500 when we all picked together. The only person that went out on a limb the best was Rob.
Really?
Florida, TCU, Notre Dame, and that's it. Yep.
Those are three big ones, though. I can't believe fucking Florida pulled it off. But I was like, this is the one. This is the one that Florida.
The Notre Dame one, I'm not going to give you because they were favored, but the TCU and the Florida, those are pretty big.
Yeah. That's why I was like, Florida, this is what they're going to do. So now they can restore faith in the fan base long enough to then just start getting railed by the
And
schedule.
you were only wrong one time when me and Tyler picked. You were wrong about Oklahoma.
I was wrong about Oklahoma. Well, you know what it was? It was, 3 defensive touchdowns in the first, 3 drives? It was 2 back-to-back.
You were wrong about Arkansas.
I was wrong about Arkansas. So LSU fans, I do apologize. I do love the Tigers, but I really felt like this was a huge letdown spot for them against a team that's coming off of a bye.
And real quick
But
on this,
it's Sam Pittman.
I was the only one that picked Tennessee.
True.
That was a big win for me. Tyler, you didn't have any solo wins, bud. Tyler, you were 13-13 last week. You're coming back down. You're coming real back down to earth. Rob, me and you were tied last week at 17-9.
So I'm still up on you?
I'm down, but I'm making a charge the last 2 weeks. I'm charging.
Well, you're charging on Tyler, but if we're tying, you're not making any ground up on me. That's
I'll be passing Tyler. The way that this is going, I'll be passing Tyler this week. But Tyler, no, it's all right, bud. It's fine. Not a big deal.
You're doing better than JC because JC is now disqualified.
The games that hurt Tyler was the Mizzou game, which Auburn should have won that game.
Auburn should have won that game. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Tyler, the Nebraska game hurt you.
Well, that was intentional, but
the Louisville game hurt you too.
Yeah, I mean, I could have called the whole ACC intervening at the opportune time too, but
let's talk about the games. I was going to go through and pick the games that we're going to talk about right now. So if you're just joining us, we'll go around and we'll talk about all the games that are happening right now. We'll talk more because we don't really do. This is no picks are against the spread here. This is just who's going to win. And for the year so far, Rob is in the lead at 66%, at 115-58. JC, who is not with us again because he's busy, is at 65%, at 85-46. Rob, he's just kind of hoping that you keep dropping a little so that he can win without me being here. Tyler, you're still at 61%, 106-67, and I'm in at 57%, 99-74. But again, for now the 10th straight week, I have given a plus money big hit, and I gave you guys Michigan State. I gave you guys Michigan State again, and we hit.
And I gave him to it too.
What's that?
Nothing.
I gave it to him again, and it hit again. I'm giving plus money out every week. This is 10 straight weeks. You can look at it. 10 straight weeks, guys. Over a plus 200 hit I've hit. It's amazing. Yep. Although that is the only win that I had gambling this week. It was a fucking shit show, boys. Boys, I always tell you I keep it real. It's been a pretty good year. This week, I got just fisted. I just got absolutely fucking destroyed this week. You know how I say I see the games? I couldn't see the games this week, and I kept trying to chase, and I know I shouldn't chase, and I got my ass kicked.
But with plus 200, I mean, what did you end up down after everything?
Like 120. Okay. It was just a fucking blood. Rob, it was a bloodbath. Because I kept live betting. Like I would live bet. I live bet Florida State against Duke because I was like, all right, this game's close. Florida State's going to make a comeback. I kept doing it too, and they just ate me up. By Friday night, I was done. It was a fucking disaster. Florida State killed me.
I didn't know you were doing that, or I would have fucking told you not to do that. Don't ever bet Florida State.
Georgia Tech killed me, and Kentucky. So just betting on bad teams doesn't usually serve. But it is.
Johnny, I will tell you that this is the week to live bet Florida State through like the first half, and then Miami will rail.
We'll get into that because we will talk about that game for sure.
That's the one to live bet potentially.
All right, Tyler, you're going to be taking it away, bud. Go ahead.
We're gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Nebraska goes to Columbus, 25.5-point dog against Ohio State. I'll go first. I want to be wrong, but I need numbies and wins. I can't stand on principle no more. I want to be wrong and say we'll show up, but man, we don't travel well. It always just. I'm hoping the bounce back will occur and I'll be wrong, but Ohio State's gonna win.
Tyler, what's the stat of against them versus top 25? They haven't won since what, 2016?
And we've
Well,
only.
that's obviously going to continue here. I would love to pick Nebraska. There's no, not that there's no fight. They're just not good. I don't know what to say. They're cursed. They're the Mets. There's something. They have the talent now. It's just, I don't know, man. Ohio
It's
State.
the battle for bowl eligibility. That's what that is.
Rob, can you help me out here? Like, what is wrong with this team?
So I would say two things that come to mind, right? And I'm not a big time Nebraska fan like some of us, but I imagine that there's a little bit of what happens to Miami or has happened to Miami that's been happening to Nebraska. And that is when you go to a blue blood program, and I'd like to believe that Nebraska and Miami are in that conversation of blue bloods.
Well, of course we are. We have the goated teams.
But if you're going there, you are fully aware of that, and you are much more susceptible to the talk around you, the chatter, right? It's so much harder going to these programs that used to be great. Part of the reason why you decided to go there is because they used to be great.
You think they're
To
listening?
then block out the noise.
You think they're listening to their own bullshit?
I think it's just so hard to block out the noise of we haven't beaten the top, an AP ranked team since 2016, right? Like, how do you just block that out when you chose to go to a school where you listen to hype?
But do you think everybody was on Nebraska should be a good team? Do you think everybody was like, do you think they were listening to their own press clippings? Like, oh, we're gonna be,
I don't, not like that. No. When we're a down bad program, Miami included, it is so easy to fall into the not hype train, but this is what we do. We look good and then we fuck it up, and then you go out in the field and you fuck it up, right? And you go, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's not I'm listening to my own clippings, so I think I'm, my shit don't stink. It's, I know I go to a school that used to be great and we've been cursed for 20 years. Oh, something bad happens. There's the curse again. Like you're more superstitious.
And it happens almost every Ohio State game that rears its ugly head.
All right, well, let's not spend too much time talking about it.
So for the record, I am also picking Ohio State. So hopefully that means Nebraska.
I hope I'm wrong, but Ohio State.
Yes, Ohio State as well. So, but the other part of it is that sorry, TA, like your team doesn't build itself to beat the other teams in your conference. It just kind of is like, it's like drafting the best available instead of having an actual fucking philosophy. Like that's the issue is you make good teams, but you don't make teams that beat Big Ten teams.
Read my subheading.
Yeah, I see that.
Did you see the offensive coordinator made news? Because his belief was 3.4 yards per carry average, 105th in the nation. It's pretty good. We don't run the ball enough. It's not that good.
And it's pretty funny because, Will Compton's saying he even has a hat that says run the damn ball.
And quite frankly, when the first two drives you drop back 15 yards, you don't run the ball enough. What do I
All right, next game. Let's stop crying about it. Sorry, buddy.
So sorry, I had to make my 2 points. I think they're both valid.
We'll go Friday night because it'll be interesting. Boise, 17th in the nation, 3.5-point favorite at UNLV.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts this week, and I'm going to ride with them. What they've been saying, Genty has been dominating Mountain West opponents. Against Oregon, he didn't do dick. And it was a big spot. This is a big spot. I think he folds. Give me UNLV. Give me the magic, baby. Give me the magic at home. The biggest home game in the history of UNLV. Give me UNLV, baby. Give me the Rams.
Haj Malik, huh? And Haj Malik we trust.
Give me Malik, baby. I give me it. And
Haj
the
Malik.
defense. The
Make sure you
defense.
get the full name.
The middle linebacker. I forgot his name, but I love the middle
Yeah.
linebacker. The captain there. I forgot his name. I fucking love him. I want him drafted on the Jets. I don't even care. He's undersized. He's white and slow. I don't care because unlike Miami players, he can tackle. I like him.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Tyler's taking Boise State. We know that.
Yep. Back up my boy. This is the only time I deviate from the UNLV train.
So, is UNLV ranked? Still no.
No, they are not.
I think they're like 27th, 26th. Like they're like in that next, like the first 4 out.
The first, the 5.
So, my gut, I would love to see this be a fucking shootout, right? But these are two drastically different philosophies as teams. So very different. And I just, in my experience, my own personal philosophy on football,
Rob's
You
picking
control-
Boise State.
you control the clock, you run smash mouth football, and that's how you keep it out of the hands of the Magic. And he can't, how do you beat fucking the Chiefs and Mahomes? If you're the Colts, you run
give
the fucking
refs,
ball.
Give the refs more money than he did.
Well, okay, yes, but I'm talking about that one Monday night when the Colts just destroyed, absolutely annihilated the Chiefs.
Run
Is
the ball.
because they ran the ball, smash mouth football, and Mahomes never even got the fucking ball. And I think it was like a 20-14 win. You know what I mean? Like, if it's low scoring, I think Boise State's got this in the bag. If this is like a light them up, let's just have a shootout, UNLV's going to get the ball last, basically, and they're going to win because that defense for Boise State will be gassed.
So you're picking Boise?
So I'm going to pick Boise and hope that my own personal philosophy means that Gene T. And this is not technically a big spot. It's a big spot for UNLV. They're not ranked, so this to me
but
is not a big spot. For
This is the biggest spot because this is whoever wins this game is probably in line for the playoff.
I agree 100%, but this is not like playing Oregon, and I think
Right.
that was in Oregon, right? That was in the zoo. Yeah. So
Was
this to me is big, but it's not massive. So
This is
that's
the
why
biggest
I'm.
conference game. I should have. Yeah, you're right. I should have. Yeah, the biggest conference game.
No, and I agree with that, but that's not the same level, and I think
Which
it's a
is
magnitude.
awesome that it's on by itself tomorrow. I'll probably stream it on TikTok. What a great game to have on a Friday night.
Absolutely. And Friday Night
that's what
Magic hasn't failed
That's
us
what
yet.
these G5 should be doing. This is a perfect setup for that. All right, Tyler, what's next?
Go to the top of the spreadsheet. I don't know why this game's at the top. Louisville minus 7.5 at Boston College.
Oh, it's on top because they're playing tomorrow early.
Oh.
Rob, you were impressed with Louisville. I'm going to go with Louisville because I think the quarterback is still out for Boston College, and I think I'm going to go with Louisville. I like they can score points, but they can't stop anybody. But I don't. I like Louisville to outscore them.
You want to go, TA?
Yeah, I'm going Boston College. Louisville's fucked me the last 2 weeks.
That's true.
I'm sick of it.
Castellanos has. Here's the thing. Castellanos, as far as I can tell, has been playing for BC, but it hasn't been going well. I think he's been playing injured. I think he's been playing through injury.
Yeah.
And so, because he's been out there and he's been trying, but, it's not enough, right? And again, he's a little guy. So this is at BC,
Yeah. No.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
but it's early. It's like, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock,
Well, it's
something like
7:30 tomorrow night.
that. 7:30 tomorrow
Yep.
night. So I would like to believe that Louisville is taking the Miami loss hard and saying, fuck that, we should have won, blah, blah, blah. Let's double down and really beat up on Boston College. But make no mistake, Boston College is going to make it tough for them. So I think this is what we said, 7.5. I think this comes down to a field goal. I think this comes down to whoever has the ball last, but I'll go with Louisville. I don't see this as a runaway game for either team unless Boston College folds again.
All right. We'll go West Virginia plus 3.5 at Arizona.
This is going to be the week that bites me in the ass. I'm not picking West Virginia ever again. All they do is lose big games. And when I pick them, they're fucking losers. I'm going with Arizona because all they do is they lose. And give me Fafita at home to outduel Green, who has just been very mid this year.
What time is the game?
Looks like it's like a 7 o'clock game. Because I have them in order, Tyler. I have them in order, so I think it's around 7.
Oh, it's also tomorrow?
No, Saturday.
Saturday.
I'm going to go with Arizona. I don't even know if it's going to be much of a duel, but it's going to be like the two Mighty Mouses, like who can execute better. And I think that playing at home will help Perfito out a lot, or not Perfito, Perfita. I forget how to say his name. But he's a little spark plug, just like Green. But that's not enough for West Virginia after last week.
All they do is lose games. Like when I pick them, I'm done picking them.
I'm going with Arizona as well.
This is when West Virginia's going to win now.
No,
West Virginia's 100% going to win the game now. Absolutely.
I don't buy that for a fucking second. Anyway, two teams in the Big Ten that are down bad are playing Friday night. Rutgers plus 4.5 point dog at USC.
At UNC?
USC.
USC. Okay, sorry. I was like,
I'm never picking Rutgers again because, again, same thing with West Virginia. Every time I pick them, they fucking choke. USC is not as bad as their record indicates, I don't think. I think they need a new coach. I think the talent's there. Give me USC.
I'm going to pick Rutgers because every time I fucking pick USC, they absolutely ruin me. Rutgers, also bad, but I've picked Rutgers and I think I'm 500 with Rutgers. And I don't know, has USC and Rutgers played in recent memory?
No.
I don't think USC knows what they're in for.
I'm just a little worried because, Tyler, what is it now? Only 4 teams have won across country?
Yeah.
But this is a 7 o'clock kickoff or something like that. It's a night kickoff for Rutgers. I mean,
Where
not for Rutgers, in LA. So it's
it's an early kickoff.
Oh, this is the 9 a.m. like bullshit. Okay. Well, that's still like 3 p.m. though, right? It's an early kickoff, so it's 12 noon for in LA.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 p.m. for Rutgers. I just don't think after the way Penn State just blatantly said we're going to do this, and USC made no attempt to adjust their defense whatsoever. I just don't see them being ready for Rutgers because you just don't prepare for it. It's like preparing for the triple option. If you've never played it, you're not ready for it. Not after they couldn't fucking cover a tight end for 17 catches for like 250 yards. Like the fuck. That's all Penn State does. So anyway, sorry, I'm still pissed about that game, but I think this is going to be like 10-3, 10-7. This is going to be some fucking miserable game for them. And
I think pulls them out.
Maybe. I think if Rutgers fucks it up and loses by 3, I'll be happy with that outcome. So,
Tyler, who you picking?
Yeah.
I'm going with USC.
Yeah, that's fine. On paper, USC should absolutely obliterate Rutgers, but they should have absolutely obliterated Penn State. And they should have won last week, right? Didn't they fucking lose last week?
That's all they do is lose.
Yeah. So, I'm done picking USC.
Anyway, another team that finds ways to lose, but they're always astonishing. Northwestern plus 13.5 point dog at Kinnick in Iowa.
Iowa's coming off a bad loss. If this was at home, I think I would pick Northwestern here. But I think Iowa gets a rebound victory here.
Northwestern is just as pathetic as Iowa. They just don't have the pedigree, so they don't get like the time of day. So I don't see Northwestern bouncing back or whatever the fuck. Like, I think they're going to lose to Iowa.
That's Iowa across the board. Wonderful. No, I don't want to move cells. All right. Another team.
He's so morose right now.
It's just
It's down bad this week.
another team that I pick that always loses. Okay, we'll just lead with that joke. Utah, 3.5-point favorite at Houston of all places.
What a fucking this is the ugliest game of the week. Like, does anybody give a fuck about this game? I'm gonna pick
Wait.
Utah. Because Houston-
Utah's favorite, right? By 3.5.
I'm picking
Okay.
Utah. That's such a disgusting. Where's it in Houston? Is that?
It's
Is it-
at Houston.
At
It's in
Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still picking Utah. I don't know.
It's a shit show.
What a terrible game.
Houston has not been particularly good this year, have they? Have they had any decent wins?
No, they've been a bad team.
They've been pretty down bad, right?
Ooh.
God.
1 and
Sure.
3, or 2 and 5 overall. 1 and 3 in conference.
Who'd they beat?
No, you stupid fucking thing. There it goes. Rice.
Yeah, no. We're going with Utah, but it's gonna be ugly.
I'm saying 17. 13.
Oh no! In conference play, TCU 30-19.
Not better.
Right.
TCU's down bad this year.
That's not better. That's not a marquee win, unfortunately.
All right, next game.
So you two are going Utah.
You're going Utah too. Don't even act like you're not.
Yeah, we know better, Tyler.
Yeah, you're right.
No way you're picking fucking Houston. Get out of here.
Yeah, especially after that debacle.
Can't even waffle on it, man.
All right. We go to Michigan for the big rivalry.
This is a big game.
Brother versus little brother, both unranked. Michigan State plus 4.5 at the big house.
Guys, I've been giving you money line wins every week. This is a money line win for sure. Johnson is not playing quarterback this weekend for Michigan. He is out. Giles had a big game against Iowa. He didn't turn the ball over as much. I think he had one turnover last week. Give me Michigan State at home. No, in
No.
Ann Arbor.
In Ann
Give me
Arbor.
Michigan State in Ann Arbor to pull the upset. And there's just no offense for Michigan. I think Michigan State pulls it off. I think there's just enough playmaking in Michigan State. If he can, if he can not turn the ball over more than once, if it's one turnover, fine. But if it's more than that, if Giles can just make plays without turning the ball over, I think Michigan State wins this game.
I mean, in most years, you got to throw out the records anyway when it's a rivalry game, right? I mean, we're going to talk about this for at least one other game this week that I'm aware of. But God, Michigan looks so bad against Illinois. Like, dear Lord. Illinois, I just feel like they did to Michigan what Penn State did to them, you know what I mean? But, like, worse. Like, they just kind of –
Michigan's
worked
offense
them.
is absolutely fucking pathetic.
It's putrid. And I just – Michigan State coming off the big one right against Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
God. Just, it was really nice the way you set up this game, Tyler, but this is going to be almost as ugly as Utah at Houston. So
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Michigan State. Got to go green. I never can say go blue, except
Go
when it's
smart.
Brian.
Go green, go white.
Yep. So we'll pivot to the other game Rob aforementioned. Kansas, a 10.5-point dog at number 16, K-State.
Guys, I don't know what to do with this game because I want to pick Kansas because I don't think Kansas State is that good, but I think Kansas is pretty fucking bad. I think I'm just going to roll with Avery Johnson in Kansas State, and then Hope that I'm wrong. Live bet Kansas and win the game. I think I'm going to go Kansas State.
TA, go ahead, because I feel like I know what you're going to do. So this will make it more fun if you do what I think you're going to do.
If this was sub one score, like a 7-6 or even the 3.5, I'd go Kansas. I need numbies and points and wins. I need K-State.
And isn't the spread still 10.5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Kansas State.
Trust me, I don't want to call Avery Johnson a fraud, but I need wins.
So what does Kansas have during the rest of their schedule at this point? Do they have anything else to look forward to?
Let me look. I don't think they do.
They have
I
one
don't
more
think they do either.
Arrowhead. Let's see here.
They got Iowa State after this in 2 weeks. Then they got at BYU, Colorado at home, and then at Baylor.
And I'm pretty sure
It's a rough schedule.
I'm pretty sure that Colorado, Kansas is gonna one of the last ones that'll take place in Arrowhead for the season.
Gotcha.
They have 2 ranked teams, and if Colorado keeps playing, maybe 3 ranked teams.
Yeah, they have a rough schedule the rest of the way.
Colorado State, so that's 4 ranked teams.
God. I'm going to pick Kansas State. I want to pick Kansas, but this isn't their Super Bowl. Does that make sense? Like knocking out.
They're just not playing good football.
No, they're not playing good football. They have no respite after this.
Way too much. He's turning the ball over way too much.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to do too much. He's got Cam Ward syndrome,
Yeah, but he's not as good as Cam Ward.
Nobody is, but like I said, Cam still does one stupid thing every week that gives 6 points or 7 points to their team, and then he comes back and scores like 4 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like he's still not playing clean football.
So we all on Wildcats?
Yeah. I'm happy about it though.
Let's get the Miami's fan opinion on this one. Number 22 SMU, 11.5 point favorites at Duke.
Manny Diaz is not a good. He's not good in big games. He's not good unless it's against Florida State or like Little Sisters of the Poor, North Carolina team that Duke plays. SMU, ever since the quarterback change, has played unbelievably well. Lashley's got the offense dialed in. The defense is actually playing pretty good. I like SMU. I like SMU pretty big here, I think.
So, do you want my opinion now, Tyler, or do you want to do it first?
I'm going SMU as well. You can go ahead now.
Manny Diaz's best season was with Rhett Lashley as his offensive coordinator. Lashley knows what he's doing, right? He's the quarterback whisperer, as you just tested. You were saying, Johnny, why are they switching quarterbacks? This is terrible.
I was wrong. I was wrong. That was a great move.
Because Lashley knows offense, right? And the thing
he knew he needed that other dynamic of running. He needed it.
Right. So. He knew what he needed because that's what he does. My issue with Manny Diaz always is for a defensive-minded guy, he never seems to be ready or has his people prepared for the big games. So it's not that he doesn't know what he's doing. It's that he can't get it across to anybody else. And even when they've played well, like Duke has not been blowing people out, I don't see him stopping Rhett Lashley when Rhett knows how Manny runs his team. He worked for him, So this is kind of this is not student becoming the teacher sort of thing. This is the hire gun he brought in to help his offense, and he did exactly that. And then Manny got fired, so Rhett went and got his own fucking head coaching position, and he's just going to torch him. Like, it should not even be close.
I said blowout.
Yeah, but it's for the reasons of Manny won't know how to stop him because he couldn't figure out how to stop him before. He's not going to have figured it out at Duke.
All right, Tyler, next game.
Another team that will probably never figure it out. Auburn, plus 2.5 at Kentucky.
That's such a weird line.
Wait, which one are we talking about? We'll never figure it out.
I was going to say I referenced that in reference to Auburn, but I guess you could say that about Kentucky as well, too.
I'm gonna go with Auburn here because they've actually been ahead in games, and I think they're better. The line, Kentucky should be at least favored by 4 here, I think. So I don't. I'm gonna go Auburn because I hate Kentucky. They're not good. They do have the one win over Ole Miss, but I don't know.
And they played Georgia tough, right? They have the moral victory.
Auburn just can't close. I don't know. Neither team can close. So like this could go into like 5 overtimes. So I'm gonna go Auburn though.
So legitimately, I was like, even with the new overtime rules, can a game end in a tie?
Can it be a 10-10 tie?
Can I just have a tie? Because these guys won't know how to close. In true Kentucky fashion, I think they're going to somehow fuck this one up.
Yeah, that's really why I'm taking Auburn because Kentucky's going to fuck it up.
Yeah, like it's going to be like a safety that wins the game for Auburn. You know what I mean? It's not even like Auburn wins the game. It's like Kentucky loses it.
A punt snap over the head, safety.
Yeah. Is this in Kentucky, right? This is
they're definitely
that's even better. Like that's what makes it even better. That's like the most Kentucky thing I can think of is that they'll fuck this up somehow at home. So I'm going to pick Auburn.
Tyler?
Yeah, I gotta follow that logic because man, I've been burned by
We're not doing real logic. We're just saying we don't think Kentucky can do this shit, even though they did do it against them.
We think Kentucky will fuck themselves more than Auburn, who will fuck themselves in this game as well.
Yeah, that's just like we got burned about equal amounts by both teams, so it's like I'll take the path of least resistance, I guess.
I love how TA's choosing is the history of being fucked over by the team that he picked.
I know.
Very, very little has to do with the football part. It's who screwed me before. Vendetta.
I do have running totals of teams. I know the spreadsheet pretty well.
Dear Lord, that's just so funny.
Sorry, I apologize if anything. We'll go Washington plus 6.5 at number 13, Indiana for game day.
We already talked about this. I think this is going to be a close game in the first half, third quarter. But the quarterback, I think, is Jackson. Pretty good backup quarterback. I'm going to take Indiana. I think the coaching gets it through. It's a home game. I don't see a letdown here because I could see a letdown if weird enough if York was playing after the big win last week. But I think Indiana dials it in and they pull off the win.
They're a 6.5 point favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What happened last week with Iowa State? Like they won, right? I think
Iowa State won big.
Iowa State won pretty big.
Pretty big?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you Iowa State?
Well, the reason why is because this is the same sort of like feeling I had with the Iowa State game last week where I was like, they should win by like 50. And initially Iowa State did struggle, but then they turned it on.
The second
and then they ended up winning.
It's exactly what I think is going to happen in this game.
Yeah. So that's why I'm going to stick with my guns, which is my initial instinct is Indiana by 49. How much did they beat Nebraska by?
They beat them by like 44 points.
Yeah. So I wanted to pick slightly more.
49 points. Okay.
Okay. So Indiana by 50.
Okay.
That was my initial reaction of like, how is this only a 6.5 point spread? But
last week was only 6.5 point spread to Nebraska too.
No, I'm saying for Iowa State.
No, I'm saying last week Indiana was only favored by 6.5, and they beat Nebraska by
40. And they beat Nebraska by 49. So I'm gonna say Indiana by 50. I'm gonna ride it just like I did last week when I got that feeling of like, there's no fucking way that Indiana fucks this up against Washington, who fucked it up against Rutgers. Their kicker still can't hit anything.
Who are you taking?
Indiana. I mean, I just can't trust a team that can't kick a field goal. That's shade. That's throwing shade to Arizona State too. Anyway, speaking of team, two teams that kind of, well, Oklahoma's just terrible at plus 20.5-point dog at number 18 Ole Miss.
I don't really like Ole Miss, but they're gonna fucking destroy Oklahoma. They're gonna fucking destroy Oklahoma. And you know what? It might be close in the first half because there is a good defense in Oklahoma, but their defense has to be tired of having to hear that. Oh, the defense is good. Oh, the defense is good, and then they know that they can't score. That has to do something to their psyche. That no matter what we do, we're not going to score points. So it'll probably be like 13-10 at halftime, and then the final score will be like 45-17. That's my guess. That's exactly my guess.
I'm picking Oklahoma.
Wow. Why?
So didn't oh my gosh, what's his name? Not the freshman. The other quarterback.
They're both freshmen.
They're both freshmen. He
Jackson
burned
Arnold,
his red shirt.
Jackson Arnold is playing. Yep.
Yep.
Jackson Arnold burned his red shirt last week.
Which you didn't want to do.
Right. In a blowout loss to South Carolina. If he doesn't come out and at least clean it up, then what the fuck are we doing, Venables? And he came out and did fine. Like he didn't do great, right? In that second half, clearly he didn't do anything to kind of like ease the pain of getting annihilated by South Carolina, but he didn't turn the ball over like 15,000 times, you know? So here's why I'm picking Oklahoma, because they are down bad and everybody's going to pick not against them. But more importantly, that defense is going to be like, all we need is someone to not fuck it up. Can you not fuck it up, Jackson Arnold? And he's going to be like, okay. And that'll be enough of a boost for them that maybe they pull off a miracle of miracles. But I'm just got this sense that like Oklahoma played good ball at some point when they had Arnold, and then they just decided to fucking play a true freshman against Texas, and all the wheels fell off because that was a stupid fucking idea. I don't know. I can't believe they burned his red shirt in a blowout. That's why I'm just like, it has to mean something.
Right? He said he didn't want to burn it in meaningless games. So I think Oklahoma's down bad right now. Tyler?
I just don't like Jackson Arnold or as a quarterback. He's not.
That's fine. I'm not saying he's going to win them the game. I'm saying he's not going to fucking give 21 points to the other team in the first quarter.
But at the same time, I can definitely see Jackson Arnold just not get things going in the second half, or Jackson Dark, excuse me, not get anything going in the second half.
The other one.
Yeah, the other Jackson.
Battle of two Jacksons. This is probably the first time in the history of football that two Jacksons are playing quarterback against each other.
You know what I mean? I could see Old Miss just like totally just like switching it off unintentionally.
They do that, yes.
Yeah.
So you would be amazed at how many Jacksons that I teach. So get used to the duel of the Jacksons. In the next 10 plus years of football, we're going to hear a lot of Jacksons playing against each other. I'm foreseeing that for sure. But yeah, after I got burned by Ole Miss before, I just am like, they're going to take this game easy, and then they're going to all of a sudden get blindsided like Kentucky. Like I think Oklahoma is a better version of Kentucky. And I think Ole Miss is going to fall for the trap because you convinced me, you got me off the lane train, that nothing else, you made the kid burn his red shirt. That's got to fucking mean something. That's just got to mean something. And if it pays off now, Venables is all of a sudden the best coach.
Or he's going to get fired on the tarmac.
Or he's going to get fired on the tarmac. Like, it's just such a fucking ballsy call. And I think Venables is he's an amazing defensive coordinator. I think he could be a good head coach.
All right, next game.
All right. Speaking of meaningless games, said no one ever. Arkansas, 6.5-point favorite in Starkville at Mississippi State.
Dear God.
The reason we're picking this game Listen, Mississippi State is showing fight. Have you actually watching the game? They're actually showing fight. Like there's teams that go down. You're gonna go down. Like if you get that, you're gonna go. Van Buren is the real deal at quarterback. He's very Dak-esque. If you're watching football, you know what I'm talking about. I think Mississippi State wins this game. I think they win the game. The defense is a little bit shaky, but Arkansas doesn't look good on offense, and I think I like the Van Buren kid. I do.
Oh.
Every week, Johnny, I say nobody cares about Mississippi State. Stop making Mississippi State a thing.
I know, but if you watch the games, Rob, they're not as bad as people think.
Listen.
Like they would be a 500 team in the ACC.
Listen. This is one week that I'm not going to say that.
Thank you.
I think you are. I think you're onto something.
Appreciate
I was
it.
so very severely disappointed by Arkansas last week in the LSU game. Again, no, disrespect to our LSU fans, but I really did actually have a sliver of respect for Pittman. But I think once they start tail spinning, he can never right the ship. And I honestly think that Mississippi State, I mean, the kid can throw bombs. Van Buren bombed Georgia like repeatedly. I watched that game.
And he's got legs. I like him, man. He's just very young.
I hope he puts it together for this because this is Mississippi State's only freaking chance to like get a win in the SEC this year.
That's why
it used to be like they could just play Vandy, right? Like that's not a thing anymore. So this is legitimately their best chance to get an SEC win this year. So hopefully the kid shows out. So I will go with you,
Tyler.
Mississippi State.
I have done a good job of avoiding Arkansas at all costs. So I'm going to continue that record and go Mississippi State.
Wow, TA. That was the chance to catch up on us. You were going to take the easy numbers.
Arkansas clearly winning.
I'll take the sympathy. If anything, that's the sympathy one. But we'll go to down near Rob, kind of. Number 11, BYU plus 1.5 at UCF.
That's close to me. It's only a couple hours away.
Guys, and eventually their bullshit and the BYU shit has to end. Like, they're getting so lucky.
But
I don't think it happens. I want to say that it does. I like the quarterback. Give me UCF. Go ahead, JC. Give me UCF. I like the quarterback. I like the new kid playing. Maybe Gussie Boy dials up some good offense, and they actually make some tackles. Probably not, but I'll go UCF.
How much is BYU favored in this game?
6.
6.
No, it's. Hold on. What are you doing? There we go.
I heard 1.5. That's what I heard, and I was like,
"Yeah, give me." Actually, you know what? I'm 100%
right. That's what's in the spreadsheet, and I'm double checking it.
Give me UCF. That's a win.
It's only moved 0.5 point. BYU by 2.
What?
Yeah, I love UCF.
Fuck. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no.
That means UCF is winning, bud.
That doesn't make any sense. How is BYU not favored by a bajillion points?
Because they don't believe that they think they're frauds, which I do too.
Yeah, I agree, but Colorado's not a better team than BYU, and they blew the pants off UCF in UCF.
I think Colorado's a better team than BYU.
I don't think they're a better team. I think they have some very, very, very talented players that BYU doesn't have, but 2 points, 2-point favorite.
Yep. Take them, Rob. Ride with me, baby. Ride with me.
What the fuck does that mean? You've got shades of JC. JC's already riding with you. He's not even here to pick this game, and we already know JC's picking UCF, so we can just mark down JC for that game. So that's already 2 with UCF out of 4. Oh my god. I just who did they sub in for UCF? Who's the new quarterback?
Curry.
Oh, Ja'Kurri Brown. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Former Miami quarterback. Nice kid, good kid.
Has a hell of an arm. He just doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, and he hasn't figured it out yet under Malzahn.
Yeah,
but the thing is, he ran for 100 yards.
If he figures out, they have playmakers that he can throw the ball 100 yards to.
No, I know, but he ran the ball for like 100 yards, and the running back ran for like 200 yards, right? Last week, isn't that what happened for UCF? Yeah. I did say, I was like, Ja'Kurri Brown, if they can run the ball, that's going to be a very, very dangerous combination. But I really didn't think they were going to figure it out that quick. Fine, I'll ride with you in fucking UCF. I'm so mad about this because I've gone about 50-50 with UCF this season too. So they've been disappointing me recently, but I think I'm like 2-2 with them on the year. So
Tyler, we already know who you're picking.
Oh, Jake Retzlaff and BYU, baby. Let's go.
It's gotta end. It's gonna end. It's gonna end in South Florida, in Central Florida.
Central Florida, but like you said, close enough.
You know what? A team that should really be poignant if gimmicks were to end in this game. Florida State plus 20.5-point dog at number 6 Miami.
Miami wins this game by 45 points on paper, but games aren't played on paper.
Rivalry games
in front of students who actually aren't going to be at this game because they don't give a fuck because it's Miami, even though it's a rivalry, they still don't give a fuck.
The stadium will be filled.
I've been to this.
It's not going to be packed,
stadium
but it will be
filled. Last time I was there, it wasn't a fight, not a big deal. I'm a Cane, baby. I'm a Cane. They're my team. That's my team. Let's go Canes. I think they win this game. I think at halftime, it's going to be 17-13, maybe even Florida State winning. Miami wins this game by 30 points in the second half. 47-17.
Tyler, do you want to pick against the gimmick?
Yeah, and I wonder how many points the ACC Command Center will be given an assist for. So, but I'm still picking Miami.
Tyler, it's not a gimmick. We're not a good football team. We have a good football player. So that's not a gimmick. You
have Restrepo.
We do. But the point is that last year we had Restrepo too. Tyler Van Dyke couldn't fucking get him the ball, even though they were roommates. You know what I mean? Like Restrepo is not the difference maker. Cam Ward is.
And DJ's not going to make up 21 points. You know that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just don't. I don't see it.
I'm pretty sure Brock Glenn is starting again.
Oh, they sat DJ again?
Mm-hmm.
God. Down bad. I think this will be a fun game for you to live bet, Johnny, because I think there will be a lot of bullshit because that's what happens in rivalry games, especially Miami FSU. But I will liken this to...
They're still deciding between Brock Glenn and Luke Kromahoke.
Dear Lord.
They came in the second half and actually looked pretty good. Then FSU just dropped every ball that he threw, and they hit him right in the hands.
Yeah, well, that's what was happening with DJ. Like, you didn't replace the receivers. Anyway, this is going to be like when we played Jameis Winston, and we were in it for 3.5 quarters for no fucking reason, and then they just blew the pants off of us. This is what happened when we played Tebow in the swamp. Like, they're going to hang tight with us for at least 2 quarters, probably 3, and hopefully Johnny will get a lot of money live betting this shit and pull it out early, and then we will pull it out in the 4th quarter. ACC help or not, Tyler, this is what happens every fucking time we do this shit. That's what I'm saying. I watched, who the fuck was it? Some quarterback that wasn't even good throw 3 touchdowns like in 5 minutes against Florida State, right? We were down 20 at half. We scored 21 points, and then they blocked the extra point and we lost. It's like this shit happens. So my point is that it'll be fireworks all over the goddamn place. But Miami will absolutely win. We're going to do this all the way home.
Tyler?
I'm going Miami.
He already picked Miami. He wants them.
Not
He's
just that,
saying the ACC will win and give Miami the win.
and the ACC Command Center will attribute some points. But can Diego Pavia pull up the impossible in Nashville, where number 5 Texas, an 18.5-point favorite, comes in?
Guys, I think I've been the biggest Vandy rider. But I know my limits. It's not happening. It's not. Texas will win this game pretty easily. They're coming off a lot. If they're coming off a win, I might be a little different. But they're going to be dialed in to win this game. They're not going to surprise anybody, Vanderbilt. I don't think they're going to dominate like they did against Alabama on the line of scrimmage. Give me Texas.
I would love to see the injury report leading into this game, because Pavia has just been trying to gut it out.
He's got
the
an
whole
ankle.
fucking time.
I know his ankle.
I'm worried that he won't finish this game. Like, I'm worried that he will try to finish this game and he will so severely hurt himself that he can't finish the game. And then that tanks the rest of Vanderbilt's season. That's what I'm worried about here. Like, I want to see cooler heads prevail and say, look, you don't have to beat fucking Texas. You already made your point. Don't ruin the rest of the season, because they got a lot of big games to go the rest of the season. Don't ruin it trying to take down fucking all the Giants in one season, in one go. But I'll go with Texas. I don't think Ewers is going to have like a really good like bounce back game. He got benched, like I don't think they're going to start Arch.
He got
over
benched.
him.
He played pretty good after the benching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They brought him back in after being benched and he played fine. So I think they're going to start him again. I think he's going to do fine, but I don't think it's going to be like a massive bounce back game that he scores like, that he lights it up and is all of a sudden fucking Heisman candidate again. But I will pick Texas.
I mean, I'll follow suit and pick Texas as well, because, I mean, 2 quarterbacks has got to be better than, 0.9 right? Yeah,
He is injured. But you know what? Saying all this, Diego's going to go shut us up again.
I mean, if he puts up a fight for 3 quarters, I'll enjoy listening to it, though.
Guys, I could see this going either super chalk or having another like every fucking upset under the sun.
Right.
That would mean that Miami loses as well, and I cannot handle like Miami losing is fine. We could have lost the last 3 weeks, should have lost at least one of those. We cannot lose to Florida State. This is not the year to fuck that up. So I would rather it all be chalk as chalk can be, just for Miami to just demolish Florida State this year. I will sell it all.
All right. We're going to go to the Big Ten, where I think number 3 Penn State are frauds, although they're a 6.5-point favorite at Wisconsin still.
You mean number 30 Penn State? Because that's actually how good they are.
Wisconsin's playing actually pretty good football, and Penn State looks like shit on the road. They should have lost that game to USC. I don't think Wisconsin pulls it off here. I think it's very, very close, but give me Penn State.
Is this the Big Ten Command Center giving them some points?
I think Penn State.
This is Big Ten Saturday night, isn't it? That's what it. Yeah, that by the looks of it.
I mean, you're bringing it up for the ACC command center. I'm saying, is the Big Ten going to follow suit? Or would they never do that, Tyler?
But I don't think that Penn State's a good team.
There's a script in the Big Ten. The referees just know how to follow it.
That's the thing, is they know how to actually call the game so that it's just seamless. They don't ever need the ACC to be like, how did you fuck this up again, you guys? You already know what you were supposed to do. Got it. I love that. Penn State is going to make it happen for no goddamn reason. Did you see the latest thing? The guys that got dismissed from the team and shit?
Yeah, what was that about?
It was about the two guys got dismissed from the team where have been charged with rape allegations.
Oh, Penn State, there's a shock.
Right, from Penn State. But then when they asked Franklin about it, he just immediately left the press conference.
Yeah, and said that he wouldn't answer it. Because now they've apparently developed into full-blown felonies too.
Yeah. But like the question was, when did you anticipate, why did you dismiss them from the team at the time you did, but no charges were brought at the time? Like, did you know what was going on? And he just goes, nope. He just literally like walked up to the mic. The first like question came in from the Athletic, and he barely stopped long enough to be like, nope, and then walk out. And then the guy afterwards like, we're not answering any more of those questions. And I'm just like, seriously?
Yeah.
Fuck this program. Wisconsin, I don't think is going to pull it off as much as I would love to
I would
see
love for that too, but I don't think they are either.
Yeah. Just an unbelievably terrible way to handle it. Like, just so stupidly bad.
Speaking of games that are going to be unbelievably terrible, potentially, number 21 Mizzou, 13.5-point dog in Tuscaloosa, and number 15 Alabama.
Alabama fucking steamrolls them.
I don't see any other solution here.
Coming off the loss, they know that they're not disciplined. Alabama needs to win. They need to win the game by 21. So I like Alabama. Missouri cannot be trusted to do anything right.
Yeah. Neither of these teams can be trusted to do anything right, to be honest.
I trust Bama more.
I trust Bama more as well. It just, you know what really got me is that Georgia, we're going to get to Georgia, but they're like dismissing players left and right. Like Colby Young got racked up for like some sort of domestic violence thing. So he's off the team. Like they suspended him immediately, indefinitely, forever.
Which is what you're supposed to do when you get allegations like that. Good job, Kirby.
But what I'm saying is that that's immediately what you need to do.
Right now, I'm saying Penn State.
Right. But Alabama, what I got from like what's being said in the locker room was the players are like, oh, he's telling them to tune it out. Kalen's telling them just tune it out. We're the ones messing up. We need to focus on our mistakes, blah, 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 blah. You know how Saban would have handled it is you fucked up more than once. You fucked up once and you're not playing, right? Yeah. Like that should have happened a month ago, and he's still not being like, there will be consequences. He's like, no, guys, like, let's all kumbaya and let's focus on ourselves. And it's like, you didn't recruit guys who were really big into let's just be really self-reflective and learn from our mistakes and grow as human beings. Like, that was the whole fucking problem with the Georgia game, is that they were all just out there fucking throwing shots at each other, and the refs were letting them do it, right? They won doing that. How easily are you going to get them to stop doing that? Not easy, unless you say there are going to be consequences for acting like an idiot. And he's not giving them consequences. So I think Alabama will win. I don't think it'll be by 21. I think they'll squeak it out. I think Milroe will have to win them at the last second for them. And that will not be the marquee win that they need, because Kalen is not dropping the hammer.
Tyler?
I mean, Jalen. We know Jalen Milroe's hurt, so fuck. Rob's barking up the right tree with that one. So I'm gonna go Bama. All right. Do we go SEC, Big 12, Big 10, or Independent?
Independent.
Number 12, Notre Dame, a 12.5-point favorite at the darling of Navy. Who's
Navy's
number
gonna win this.
24.
Navy's gonna win this game by 30. Notre Dame sucks. They can't throw the ball. They can't do anything but run the ball. Their defense is horrendous. They're terrible. Fuck that team. Fire Freeman. He's terrible at his job. They lost another 5-star this week. He's terrible. He's terrible at his job. He's not good. They're doing. I don't want to bring this in, but it's a DEI hire. I don't know why he was ever hired. He's fucking terrible. He never showed that he was good at anything. I want Bill Belichick to coach my Irish. I'm so over this team. He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the football. It's 2024, not 1924. And I bet you back then with the Gipper, they could throw the ball more than they throw the ball now. The Horsemen had more passing yards than these idiots. I can't stand this team. Navy wins. Navy wins big. Fuck Notre Dame, Navy.
Now, I remember Johnny being pretty excited about Marcus Freeman getting hired before, right? Since
I could be wrong. I
you
could be
can
wrong.
absolutely be wrong. I think, personally, that Freeman he didn't do a good job bringing in Riley, right? Oh man, this guy beat
Freeman
us.
is the
Basically,
best
let's go get him.
Strength and conditioning coach of all time. Love his motivation. I love it. Strength and conditioning. Not a head football coach.
Sure. I think that he attached his, hooked up his star to the wrong fucking quarterback to bring in, right? When he did it last year with Sam Hartman, wasn't a bad pick. Was not a bad pick. You don't find a Sam Hartman every goddamn year.
If Sam Hartman was on this team, we would be undefeated and we would be scoring 40 points a game because he actually has protection this year. We have a running game this year. We have a defense this year. Sam Hartman would be in the Heisman right now if he was on the team this year.
Right. But that's what I mean is that it's all, not to put it all on Riley Leonard, but it's really on Riley Leonard. Now, I agree that they need to fire Freeman because he's the one who has to make those decisions, et cetera, et cetera. Ultimately, it falls on him. The responsibility is
losing recruits.
But you don't get 5 stars. Notre Dame has never gotten 5 stars. You're so upset about losing something you never had. The fact that he was even in the running for these guys is a change of pace.
I don't care.
You're so bitter. Anyway, I do think that Notre Dame loses this game. I don't think Freeman gets fired as a result of it. Navy is on their shit this year. That is not a bad loss to lose to Navy when they're fucking rolling, absolutely rolling, and good for them. Keep it going. Let's see Army do it as well to Notre Dame.
Army's a better team. Army's going to beat them by more.
I know, but I would love to see, like I said at the beginning, I want to see both Army and Navy in the fucking playoffs this year. Let's do it. Not even a Go America thing, just let's actually have the pride of the nation actually show up in the pride of the nation's sport for once. Be a nice change of pace.
Tyler?
Navy.
I'm going Navy as well. They're just on their shit. Love them.
Tyler, you sound so sad when you say that.
I'm sorry, but I want to be a mush and really go Notre Dame because Riley Leonard went off last game. But
what did he go off for? He didn't even throw for 200 yards.
Okay, most of the FBS don't throw north of 200 yards.
But good quarterback. No, fuck him. He's a fucking asshole. Sorry, I don't
want that to happen. But we'll go to the SEC. We'll go to battle for the SEC championship for now. Number
Texas
8.
Texas A&M are frauds. They are frauds because you want to know why? They lost to Notre Dame, who can't throw the fucking ball. So fuck them. They're frauds. Give me LSU. LSU big. Nussmeier. Fuck Texas A&M. How do you lose to Notre Dame? That's a worse loss than losing to like NIU. That's just no LSU. Go Tigers.
Last week I bet against LSU, and I regret it. Sam Pittman is Sam Pittman's the real fraud here. But how do you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team and not even show up? Not even make it competitive. But
We did that. We had 2 weeks to prepare for Indiana. Didn't show up.
oh, you also had a bye. Yeah, that's right. You also had a bye. But Sam Pittman was coming off the biggest win for the season for sure, probably in his career, and he couldn't keep it going. Like, what are we doing? Anyway, so it is complete chagrin that I had gone against LSU last week. I'm not doing it this week. Goo Tigers.
Yeah.
Eeaux.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
I do miss
mean-
Orgeron. I do miss Orgeron a lot.
Me too.
So we're essentially hoping LSU holds it out for the time being, because you know who's waiting in the wings, third in the conference. Georgia is.
Tyler, you're taking the Tigers too?
Yeah, I'm going to go Tigers too.
Yeah, we're Tigers podcast now. Let's go.
Well, I definitely have never liked Texas A&M. Not one time. So
They
this
are
is nothing
cool.
new.
They grab each other's balls and they do weird shit like the midnight yell. They're weirdos.
They fucking took our AD. I don't give a fuck about A&M. Anyway. We'll go to the 2:30 game at CBS. Number 20 Illinois plus 21.5 at number 1 Oregon.
I think Illinois keeps it close, much like the Penn State game. But the final score will be 31-14, which doesn't sound very close. I think it's played closer, but I think 31-14 is the final, and Oregon wins.
I was going to say 28-7, right? They couldn't pull it off against. It was 21-7 against Penn State. I think absolutely Oregon is at least a touchdown better than Penn State any day of the week.
Penn State defense is a little bit better than Oregon. I think Altmaier is playing very well. So I like 31.
Listen, I would love nothing more than to go ILL, INIL over Oregon, but I just don't see. I don't see it. I don't think they have. I think they're a good team. I don't think they have the talent to say great team status.
I
Being
think
Michigan is great.
they're very
Michigan's not a good team.
I think they're a very good top 5 Big Ten team in the Big Ten. That could probably beat everybody else's top 5 in every other conference. Like they're number 5 in every other conference, they would beat.
Yeah.
That's who they are, and that's really all they are.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I say maybe number 4 in every conference. They could go toe to toe with.
Okay, that's fair. There's 4 or 5. I agree.
Yeah.
I
Which
agree.
is not Oregon, as we mentioned earlier. That's not the same as playing in Autzen.
Tyler?
I'm going Oregon as well. Just, I do like the Illinois. Like you
Too much
guys,
five
like,
star.
it's just you're going against typical gas and jet fuel. Jet fuel,
And maybe if it was in Illinois, it'd be a little closer. But I still
Even
have
then-
Oregon. But I just
Yeah. Even then, but Autzen's a whole nother animal.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they put up a fight. Like they're a gritty team, man.
I'll say first half. First half grit.
I left probably the most interesting game for last because the line has not changed. Cincinnati, a 5.5-point dog in Boulder at Colorado.
Cincinnati is a very good team this year. I believe they're 6-1
Mhm.
or 5-2, something like that. They won again last week. They're a good team.
Didn't I call that?
People
They
are
call them-
still sleeping
Yes, you did.
on this Colorado team. Colorado is going to win this game, and maybe they'll finally be ranked and have. I think people are getting so tired of listening to them that they're almost downplaying them this year. They're a very good team. They're a top 40 team. Colorado, which they could be anywhere from 20 to 40, I think. I think they prove it this week, and I think they win this game.
It's at Boulder.
Yep.
Yep.
What time?
It's a night game.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
boy.
late game, late window.
Oh boy.
It's gonna get weird.
Yeah, I got to go with Colorado based on the circumstances. If they were playing this in Cincy, I think Cincinnati is also a top
I
20
think Cincinnati's
to
a
40
very.
team.
I think they're exactly right.
And so this is more about circumstances, not about quality of players or programs or anything like that. I think
I
this
do
is
think Colorado has better playmakers.
well, yeah, sure.
Cincinnati does have a better team, but I think the playmakers shine in this game. I think this is an individual. Comes down to like Shador making a big pass on third down to they're up 7 to seal the game.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Yeah, definitely Colorado has better playmakers, but they have much more inconsistent quality throughout the team, whereas I think Cincinnati has just built over time. This is they were kind of the new kids on the block, obviously, but they have maintained a higher quality, I think, throughout the team. But in a spot like this, on the road, late game, for a team that, I think since he's in middle the what is it, the fucking central time zone, but still, this is a lot later than they would normally play. So,
And it gets weird in Boulder at night.
yeah. So for those circumstances, I think that the playmakers will shine more, and it's a primetime spot for a primetime team. I think that Colorado is going to do fine.
And they have Coach Primetime.
Well, yeah, that's why it's the primetime team. Yeah, I'd say it comes down to last.
Colorado.
Yeah. I'm going to go Colorado. TA probably will as well.
Yeah.
Tyler's really, he's still riding with Colorado.
It's just I think they can pull it out even with Colorado's injuries going on. But I just thought the line was so interesting because it hadn't moved any either at 5.5. And they say Travis Hunter's going to have more of a role this week too. So
his shoulders healed up a little better.
Yep.
He didn't play.
So he can go 60 plays instead of 80.
He didn't have to play as much last week anyway because they blew out. Forgot who they played last week. Arizona.
Right. But that's everything.
All right, boys. That is week 8 college football. Week 9 college football. Spike college football. We are the Spike Boys. I'm Johnny B. That's Robin. Tyler is also with us. We are Spike College Football on Spike_college_football on Instagram. Spike College Football on Twitter. Spike College Football on TikTok, Twitch. Give us a shout out. Thank you, everybody. I don't know if you guys know this, Rob, but we now have our second video has now gone viral with over 106,000 views. Thank you very much to the Texas and Georgia fans for that on the TikTok. We appreciate it. And our number 1 video on TikTok right now is at 1.6 million views. Thank you to the LSU Tiger fans. We appreciate it. Go Tigers. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. Just share the stream, like it. Please tell your friends about it. We talk college football every day, or every week.
We do on our group chat pretty much talk about college football every day.
I'm going to try to stream the game tomorrow night because it is a big game, Boise State. I'll try to get on there. It's been my kid has been crazy. So we're going to try to stream tomorrow on TikTok probably only. Love you guys. Thank you very much. And as always, do one thing. We keep it spiked. Boom, bitches. Outro.